How's it going, everybody? We gotta talk about one Ubisoft CEO, Yves Guillemot, and what he said about Skull and Bones. Look, I know he's the Ubisoft CEO. I know there's an element of we gotta promote this game that a lot of people don't care about right now. There's an open beta running right now. You can play the game for free. I talked about it yesterday. Go check it out. The general reception to the open beta from everybody that I talked to that played it has been pretty positive. It seems like people are enjoying the game. I don't think this game is gonna do very well from a commercial standpoint. I think a $70 game attached with a bunch of live service gimmicks is kind of whack. We just had that with Suicide Squad as well. Let's not get it twisted. It's not a Ubisoft only thing, but Ubisoft certainly is a premier proponent of the $70 price tag and baked in with a lot of live service elements. But now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. Let's talk about what was noted. Over at Video Games Chronicle, I'll leave a link to their article in the description box below. It notes and it talks about Yves Guillemot, and during a Q&A session as part of a conference call discussing Ubisoft's Q3 sales for its fiscal year 2024, one caller pointed out Skull and Bones now appears to be taking a more live service approach. Yes, we talked about this game yesterday, and it has a lot of live service elements. Battle passes, they've already outlined a year's worth of content, and that'll be 4 seasons. And I'm sure it'll be filled with a lot of possible buyable content. Now, it'll be up to you whether or not you want to buy it, but that is the case for a game that's also priced at $70 and a game that has the early access gimmick. We'll talk about that as well. The game's year one roadmap was recently published. For example, the caller asked why Ubisoft was insisting on charging $70 for the game and potentially limiting the size of its player base. Whoa, 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 whoa. Before we even talk about this $70 price tag, Ubisoft is already intentionally doing that by not releasing the game on Steam, on one of the biggest platforms, and on the platform where a game like Skull and Bones would really shine, this multiplayer live service centric title. It'll do okay on Xbox and PlayStation, but PC is a great market for games like this. They are already severely limiting themselves by not releasing this game on Steam. We've already seen it, guys. What is the difference of a game coming out on Steam and not coming out on Steam? It is orders of magnitude different. That's why Ubisoft ultimately even releases all their games on Steam. Why they release it on Ubisoft Connect first? Because they are trying to promote their subscription service. They need people to subscribe to that, and they're trying to pop off with their own storefront. I don't know if Epic Game Store is involved as well, because it is kind of interesting that these games all release on the Epic Game Store at the same time as they release on Ubisoft Connect. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a marriage of things, like they are getting a healthy amount of money from Epic Games. We know Epic Games and Epic Game Store is open to signing exclusivity deals and doing whatever they can to garner traction on their platform as well. So I think it could be a mixture of both, but they are already limiting the visibility of this game greatly by not having it on Steam. But this is a game that I think the $70 price tag will hurt it as well. Guillemot replied with an assertion that Skull and Bones deserves to be a full-price game because of its scale. You will see that Skull and Bones is a fully fledged game. It's a very big game, and we feel that people will really see how vast and complete the game is. It's a really full quadruple-A game that will deliver in the long run. Now, I don't want to completely harp on the man. Like, he's a promoter. This guy's got to promote the project and the property that he's about to put out. He is the head of Ubisoft. However, when you say stuff like quadruple-A games, like, yo, there's promoters speak, and absolutely promote your game. Don't be like, yeah, nobody cares about my game. Promote your game, but talk about it in a way where you're not saying absolutely comical things like it's a quadruple-A game, because the second he said that, and he's gotta be selective with the words he uses, in his position, he knows that anything he says on a call like this is gonna be taken and utilized for headlines and things like that. I'm doing it right now, but he's gotta be a little bit careful with that, where he's gotta dance in between being a promoter, promoting the game that Ubisoft is putting out, and also not saying absolutely comical things. Like, bro, I've been doing a little bit of promoting for Helldivers 2 recently, it feels like. Literally in my comment section, there's been multiple people saying that, you know, I keep talking about word of mouth, and I've sold them on the game. I'm not trying to be a promoter, but I'm talking about the game from my excitement level, and he's talking about the game as a literal promoter that it is in his best interest to, like, it doesn't matter if you guys buy Helldivers 2, I just think the game looks really good. In Yves Guillemot's interest, in his best interest, it is for Skull and Bones to sell really well. However, you have to promote in a way that isn't just comical. Like, you can't be like, I can't be like, Helldivers 2 saved my relationship, Helldivers 2 gave me a reason to live, the Helldivers were there for me when nobody else was. Like, I can't say stuff like that because that's just comical and, like, no, like, obviously that's ridiculous. And calling Skull and Bones a quadruple-A game, even if it's this one small piece of the entire message he was trying to say, that's absolutely comical, and you can't say things like that given Ubisoft's track record with these live service games. And Skull and Bones is a vast game. I'm sure there's a lot of content to it, but if you actually assess everything they're doing with the game, I talk about the trifecta. If you want to know if a game is doing all that they can do from a live service standpoint, where they're trying to rake as much money as possible, and in my opinion, to an egregious extent, it's three things. Are you $70? Well, Skull and Bones is in fact $70. $60 on PC, but $70 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Are you doing the early access gimmick? Oh, yes you are. If you buy the premium edition, you get early access. $90 on PC, $100 on the console. And are you doing battle passes on top of that? Skull and Bones, yeah you are. You're doing battle passes on top of that. Battle passes, it could be battle passes or just a lot of monetization, but you're doing battle passes in Skull and Bones as well. Skull and Bones is another one of those games that have that trifecta for a live service game, where it's not like, oh, Skull and Bones is a $40 game, but it has the early access gimmick, a $60 deluxe edition, and it has battle passes. I would say, you know, that is what it is. Kind of apropos with today's gaming. But no, it's got all three. Is it a $70 game with the early access gimmick, but it's rather tame in its monetization elements? Well, you know what? That's kind of apropos with today's gaming. Nah, this is all three, where it's $70, early access gimmick, and you've got battle passes baked into it, which, you know, I foresee this being a typical thing with Ubisoft. The early access gimmick is going to be a typical thing with Ubisoft because they're trying to get people to sign up to the subscription service, and they want to incentivize it as much as it can. Guys, if Prince of Persia, The Lost Damn Crown had early access for the deluxe edition, you damn right the other games are gonna have the early access gimmick baked into it. But yeah, like, just saying stuff like it's a quadruple-A game, like, people are gonna meme on that until the end of time. And when it comes to a game like Skull and Bones that, by the way, was supposed to release in 2019, yes, it has been 5 years since this game was initially supposed to come out, and people are super skeptical with it. But again, from people I'm talking to, it seems like they're really enjoying it. Go play the open beta. It's live right now. Go stop playing, you know, the other billion games that came out for a second and try out the open beta if you are somewhat interested in the game. It'll give you a healthy idea of what to expect. That'll run until February 11th, and then the game's coming out on February 12th in early access, and the full release is on February 15th. If you're on PC, you can also play the game with the Ubisoft Connect Plus, I believe it's called. It's $18 a month, which is kind of pricey, but it gets you the top tier edition for all of the Ubisoft titles. And again, they do have the year one roadmap already outlined for the first 4 seasons, and if you buy the deluxe edition or you sign up to Ubisoft Connect Plus, you'll get a token for the first premium battle pass, so take that for what you will. But yeah, come on, Ubisoft, you can promote a game. You gotta be a promoter. You can't let people not be interested in the game. But calling a quadruple-A game, like, come on now, like, come on now, that's just comical in this regard. But that's gonna do it for me. If you guys have put some time into the open beta, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below. Seems like a lot of people are checking it out, or at least some people are checking out. There's a lot of stuff coming out, so just popping off right now. And that's what I've said about Skull and Bones. It's a $70 game with all of these elements baked into it that are not great for the consumer, and then at the same time, it's coming out at the same time as all of these other games. Ultimately, I think they needed to get this game out before the end of the fiscal year, and it was kind of like, bro, we delayed this game how many times? We just need to get this game out. And even if it did come out in July, would it fare a little bit better with no other big releases? Maybe it would have. We'll never know, but maybe it would have, but I ultimately don't think it would have helped the promotional aspect of the game that much. But that'll do it for me. Again, your thoughts down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.